Alrighty, so we got ourselves a bit of a interesting development here with a new EZA for the game. This is dropping here at 4 a.m. So this video will probably go up a couple hours after I record this and stuff like that. Don't have a thumbnail right now, so we might have to do an emergency one to get started, but Super Saiyan 2 Gohan. He is here. He's getting his ECA, and this is going to be help for the Gohan unit, the Gohan, Goten, and Trunks character. We've talked about them extensively and sort of the help that they are going to need, and this guy is going to fit right in for those specific buffs. So this character didn't really have much. We have the OG skeleton right here. To start off, this is just stuff that he had already. He has attack and defense was 58% at the start of turn. That's very low. Receives an additional key +1 per key sphere obtained, and then a medium chance of launching an additional super attack. And then for every key sphere that he gets attack and defense 7%. So sort of a nuking style character. And then if he's attacking with 18 or more key, he gets 58% attack. And then when we have a Goku, who's a movie hero, we are able to get an extra attack plus 59% and then get a guaranteed crit if HP is 58% or less. So this is the baseline kit. This character came out almost 5 years ago. So this is what we were originally working with. Now let's go ahead and check out what this character is now working with. So you guys can see Extreme Z Awaken. We have all that going on here. And now we can take a look at the passive. So if we zoom in here, let's go to this side. The movie heroes 150 is not really going to be changing, so we're not too worried about that. But now we are going from that 58% attack and defense buff for the start of turn to 200, and then we are going to receiving an extra 2+ key per key sphere obtained, so that is good. Then we have a guaranteed additional super attack, and then the chance of performing a critical hit up to 20%, and then we can randomly change key spheres of a certain type other than tech into tech key spheres. So he's going to be a tech orb changer. This could be helpful for just himself because of what he's able to do per gaining for gaining every key sphere obtained. He's going to be getting additional buffs, so that is helpful. Then for the first 4 turns from this character's entry turn, we are going to be getting a damage reduction rate of 30% and then guards all attacks. Now, 30% doesn't sound like enough to me. Guard and 30%, that doesn't sound like nearly enough. It would just have to depend on how high his defense is with the tech key spheres, right? I think that's really what it's going to come down to. But to me, that does not sound like enough for modern content. 30% that goes away and then just guard. We've seen a character recently that has just guard. And do you want to know who that is, ladies and gentlemen? And it's a character who we've been talking about extensively about how he's not that great. It's this guy right here. Just guard, no damage reduction, right? So when we have these guard procs, right, with just Gohan, guard enough is not going to be nearly enough. But I don't want to just say he's completely dead or anything like that, but 30% damage reduction and guard does not sound ideal. But for every key sphere obtained, attack and defense 10% will be nice. This is an upgrade from the original that we have here, which is going to be 7%. So that extra 3 will potentially add up, especially when you're considering how many orbs that you could potentially be getting. So just keep that in mind. Now, when we are attacking with 12 or more key, we are going to be getting attack and defense 100%. So that's some extra defense. And then when we are attacking with 18 or more key, we got a whole lot of stuff to read. So attack plus 100%, right? Then attack plus 159% and a chance of performing a critical hit of 20% when HP is 58% or less. Then we get an attack plus 159%, then a chance of performing a critical hit plus 20% starting from the 5th turn. So you just get that from turn 5. And then we are going to get defense 159% and a chance of performing a critical hit 20% when there's another movie heroes category ally on the team or when there's another hybrid Saiyan category ally attacking in the same turn. So hybrid Saiyan, who's a hybrid Saiyan? Who do we like right now in hybrid Saiyans? I don't know if you guys know. Our boy, right? Gohan. This guy, hybrid Saiyan, this is going to be a pretty ideal setup for him right here. So this is good, right? Just extra help for this character really is what I think this main purpose of the character is going to be coming down to. And that is going to help. So this is a very easy buff to get. And then we also have a defense of 159% and a chance of performing a critical hit of 20% when there's an ally whose name includes Goku on the team or when there's another youth category ally. So I believe originally, if we go back to this other new Gohan, we had this was the restriction first, where we needed a movie hero Goku. And now when we go over here, the name just needs to include Goku. right? And that's going to have extra defense 159%, then an extra chance of performing a critical hit. Then we have this as well. So this is going to be what? 318 defense right here. When you have a hybrid Saiyan on the same turn, and then when you have a Goku on the team, or if you have a youth category ally, right, running him on youth, that's going to be helpful for the defense. Then after turn 5, you're going to get an additional attack plus 159%. And if you have this low HP, you're also going to get that additional attack then as well with all this extra stuff right here with the key spheres. You're going to be able to see some pretty good numbers with this character, I would imagine, just from the amount of buffs we have, because we have 200% here at the start of the turn. Then we have 10% for every key sphere obtained. Then we have 100% here. Then we have another 100%. And then we have an additional 318% here if you hit both of the procs. And then defensively, you have another 318% right here. So a lot of numbers on this character. And I think that that could potentially be pretty good for him. It's just going to overall come down to some of the other stuff. So let's go ahead and take a look at some other things here, and that is going to be some of his super attack effects. Now, if we look at this version right here, the 12 key is going to be greatly raising attack and defense for 1 turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy, and greatly lowers defense. So not perfect, right? That's not the best attacks thing ever. I've kind of like preferred that to be massive at this point, with just how things are and the amount of defense this guy's going to need, especially considering he's lacking that high number of damage reduction, and especially after 4 turns, not having any at all and just relying on guard. We know how that goes at this point. So that is just something to keep in mind. Now, if we look at the 18 key, we have a raise. So he's an attack stacker and he greatly stacks his defense. So stacking attack and defense, that is very good from the 18 key. Obviously, you're only going to be able to get to do this once per turn, but you are going to be getting a great stack. If you guys recall, if we look at Hybrid Saiyans, you know who else greatly stacks his defense? This guy right here. So that is good, right? The additional greatly stacking on his defense is very nice, and that is really not much to complain about here. But if we look at his active skill effect, this has kind of always been the way it's gone. This is like the same effect here as this one right here. So we are going to need a Movie Heroes character named Goku on the team for this to be activated, and that could be a little bit of a problem. But in theory, I don't think they say on the EZA if that effect really changes at all. I guess if we go into here, right? Sometimes this is kind of tricky to figure out, right? Like you just look at it and you're like, where the hell is it? It can be activated. Yeah, it's right here, right? The effect is still going to be the same with this character right here. Nothing is going to be changing. So really, you're just missing out on an attack buff, which I don't really think is like the center of this character's kit to the point where you're really going to need it. An attack buff isn't like, oh my God, like with this absolutely needs to be done now. So I think that the active skill really isn't going to be the end of the world, especially considering the way that this character is designed. He is going to be able to stack that attack to the point where you're not really going to be needing that too much. But I'll be very interested to see how this character operates in the Festival of Battles. To me, that seems pretty interesting because I feel like he could actually be really good in there with his stacking. If you can get, especially if you are running like the AGL Gogeta on that team, and you have a Movie Heroes character whose name includes Goku, you can get his active skill, you can stack that up for 80 turns, and then you can see a really crazy attack stat from this character. So I'm really interested to actually see that in game. But right now, I don't know how much I'm really liking the fact that we have, to me, it's just this. It's the damage reduction rate of 30 and guarding all attacks. I'm not really feeling that. I feel like this damage reduction rate could have been higher, and I don't want to just completely write off this character yet, but I don't know exactly where he's going to really be fitting in terms of like how good he's going to be on the mainline team that he's going to be involved in, and that is going to be the Hybrid Saiyans, not Slayans, the Hybrid Saiyans / youth, right, / Defenders of Justice setup. So when we look at that setup right away with this team, you have 2 of this guy running around, and then you are going to be running this guy as well. He'll be decent on there. And this team is starting to get the pieces together that it needs with the Super EZA to this guy, right? So that's already 3 characters right there. And then you sort of just need to continue to fill in the pieces, and this team, I think, will be where it needs to be. When we comes to the link set of this character, there is one thing that I do not like about this character. When we look at the link set, everything looks okay, but there are 2 major sort of glaring holes with this character's link set. And if you look at this right here at the link skills, just at a gaze, can you, no pun intended, can you tell me what links are the problem here, right? It's not Super Saiyan. That's really good. It's not Saiyan Warrior Race. That one's really good. Prepared for Battle, All in the Family, all fine stuff, right? It's Shattering the Limit. This link is an L. Attack and defense 5%, not great, right? When you consider this one has 20 for defense. And then Gaze of Respect. Let's take a look at Gaze of Respect, shall we? Oh, look at that. 4 LRs to get Gaze of Respect since 2020. We are in August of 2025. So this is a decent link, attack and defense 10%. Like, that's fine, but nobody you're running this character with, right? Nobody. Nobody. Right? So when it comes to the best linking partners for this character, just sort of looking at this, he is going to share 5 links with this Gohan. So that is good. 5 links with this guy. Movie heroes, it could be a bit of an interesting setup, but yeah. So that's the EZA right now for our boy TEQ Gohan. Let me know down below what you guys are thinking. Are we excited? Are we not excited? What would you do differently about the kit and all that fun stuff in the comment section below? I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think of the character in the comments. Thank you guys as always for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you all in the next one.